What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. This past weekend, 2K and the WWE flew me down to San Antonio, Texas to try out the new WWE 2K23 video game releasing March 17th, and I got to attend the WWE Royal Rumble in collaboration with MPFirst.com, and wow, what an experience this was. MPFirst.com is an amazing gaming news website, and I'd like to thank them for letting me represent them at the event so I could record gameplay footage that you're about to see. This whole weekend has just been wild, all right? I got to do so many things that I've always dreamed of, including, like I said, going to the actual Royal Rumble, where Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley both won their respective Rumbles and are going to WrestleMania to fight Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair. So this whole thing was exciting, but let's just get into the nitty-gritty with the game itself. Now, obviously in the background, you are seeing various gameplay that I've put together from pretty much like 3 hours. I got to play WWE 2K23. This game is awesome. I'm so excited. The graphics are amazing. The gameplay is tight. They did a lot of really cool things, especially adding Warzone, War Games, which I'm pretty confident a lot of people are going to love. Basically, War Games, they have 2 rings side by side with a steel cage, and it kind of works a little bit Royal Rumble style. There's teams of either 3 and 4, and you'll have one competitor from each team start the match, and then every so often another wrestler will release. This is going to set up 2-on-1 scenarios and 3-on-2s, so it's going to be uneven for one team and for a little while, and then when everybody's in the ring, whoever gets that first pinfall is going to win. And it's a really cool and chaotic game mode, and I loved it. I did a bunch of those with a bunch of the different wrestlers we had access to, and I also did a bunch of Royal Rumbles because, as you guys might remember from my coverage of WWE 2K22, that was what we loved to do. We loved to do the Royal Rumbles with all the created wrestlers that were WWE characters or, Marvel characters or anime characters, all sorts of themed Royal Rumbles. So the Royal Rumble is still there, and it's awesome. I had a lot of fun doing some of those and some one-on-one matches. There's also going to be a new showcase mode this year starring the cover artist, John Cena. Now, you are going to be able to relive some of the greatest John Cena matches of all time, and you don't have to do it as John Cena because John Cena understands that he has kind of a complex history with the fans. Some people love him, some people hate him, but at the end of the day, he is a WWE legend. And the match that I got to play and was absolutely terrible at was Rob Van Dam versus John Cena from ECW Takeover, I believe it was. And I remember this match. It was in the old ECW arena. There was a pay-per-view. It was crazy. I remember JBL being up in the crowd yelling down at Paul Heyman. What a memory. So I got to play as Rob Van Dam in that, and it was just a very interesting thing. Now, I want to give a shout out to my brother Eric because he was very jealous I got to do this. And the reality is that when you watched all my Rey Mysterio showcases last year, you were actually watching Eric play the game. My brother Eric absolutely loves WWE video games, and this is a really fun thing that we got to do last year, and I'm really looking forward to him making me look really good again this year in the John Cena showcases. The game plays fantastic. I think a lot of people were really happy with the improvements that were made in WWE 2K22, especially after, let's face it, the last release was not their best effort. It was a struggle, and they took a year off to get everything right, and now everything seems to be coming together. We're getting new features added, and it's going to be an even better experience. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the features that were in the game last year are going to carry over with the War Games being added, with the John Cena showcase being added, and a number of other little tweaks here and there. So it is very much going to be a building block of sorts. And I think, like I said, I loved it. I honestly, I kept going back and forth between playing and mingling with some of the wrestlers that they brought over. I got to hang out and talk to a bunch of guys like Seth freaking Rollins. That's right. Seth Rollins was hilarious. He was basically in character the whole time. And we're not, all right, so here's one thing we're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about ratings, okay? But Seth might not have been happy that his wife, Becky Lynch, possibly had a higher rating than him, and made a very big scene about it when he discovered it. What's really funny is he was actually sitting behind me playing with another member of the media that was there, and I was actually doing my women's war games, and I was playing as his wife, Becky Lynch, and I thought it was kind of funny, and I was actually, I don't know, I was wondering how he would have responded if he turned around. One of the other groups that was there, The New Day! That's right, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E were all in the building, and you know that up, up, down, down was going on. They were messing with everybody that was there. There were a lot of other 2K Next makers there doing their thing, and those guys were all rowdy and going at it with each other, and it was hilarious. The New Day is amazing. They do in fact rock, and I want to say Big E was looking so good. I thought we were going to see him as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, but it's just good to see him up and running, and they were awesome. Also there, Drew McIntyre. What a dude, all right? Drew McIntyre was so soft-spoken and humble and just a pleasure to be around, and I really was thankful to get the chance to meet him and talk to him. And you know who else was also just as awesome and humble? Omos, okay? That man might be the Nigerian nightmare, but he was a Nigerian prince, okay? He was so cool and tall. And it was a pleasure to meet him. And the last person that they brought over for the event was Bobby Lashley. And I want to share a little story about that, okay? My father was a Marine. Bobby Lashley was in the Army, and my dad loved Bobby Lashley. I'm a huge Bobby Lashley fan. And it was really cool to be able to tell him, about my dad and to thank him for his service. You know what I mean? Because those type of things are important to people like my dad, who is a Marine. So all these guys were great, and it was just a whole weekend of meeting wrestlers. On my flight from Houston to San Antonio, I was on a flight with Finn Balor and Elias. That's right, I flew with Elias. All right. And they were really cool. And then on my flight back, I actually met Fluffy, Gabrielle Iglesias, one of the best comedians ever. Ran into Sergeant Slaughter, MVP, Mia Yim, and William Regal. They were all just there. It was crazy. So that was really awesome. And let's talk a little bit more about WWE 2K23. It is coming March 17th, as I mentioned earlier. And some of the confirmed wrestlers that we have, today they released a trailer, the first gameplay trailer, and it showed Cora Jade and Alba Fry from NXT. It also showed Bad Bunny, who is a pre-order bonus, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Jimmy and Jay Uso, The Macho Man, Randy Savage, ooh yeah, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, and The Rock. Those were all characters that were shown in that trailer, on top of the 20 wrestlers that we had access to in our gameplay session. For the female wrestlers, we had access to Becky Lynch, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Asuka, Ronda Rousey, Liv Morgan, Shotzi, Rhea Ripley, and Shayna Baszler. So that is quite the who's who of different wrestlers that we're going to see in WWE 2K23 on the female side. And then for the men, we had Roman Reigns, Edge, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and of course, you unlock Rob Van Dam when you complete the showcase with John Cena. So that's quite a great group of wrestlers to work with. I don't think there are too many people other than maybe Cora Jade and Alba Fry, and to a certain extent Braun Breaker, that are much of a surprise. But you know, that's a great group, and obviously this roster is going to be stacked. And you know, always just look out for those created wrestlers, because the people, one of the things that always impresses me about the WWE 2K video games is the creator suite. Okay, the people that make created wrestlers in this game are so talented, and 2K and Visual Concepts gives them the tools they need to really make it work and honestly create wrestlers that are probably worthy of being paid DLC. So shout outs to them for that, and we're definitely going to see that moving forward because it's just fantastic. As far as the Royal Rumble itself, what an experience it is to me, the WrestleMania. I've been to a WrestleMania before, WrestleMania 14 in Boston, where I saw Stone Cold win the world title against Shawn Michaels. But I've always wanted to go to the Royal Rumble, and I'm just so thankful to mpfirst.com for asking me to cover the event for them, and to 2K and the WWE for letting me be there. You know what I mean? We got to go to the press conference after the show, where we got to see an interview, basically, the two Royal Rumble winners, Rhea Ripley and Cody Rhodes. We also got to see Bray Wyatt and Paul Triple H Levesque. That's how they introduce him now. So just a dream come true. The city of San Antonio is beautiful. I loved it. I would definitely like to go back and do the whole Riverwalk thing someday with my wife. So we'll see what happens there. And I also want to talk about the fact that I got to meet a longtime fan, Raider Outlaw, and I got to hang out with my best dude, DJ Chrome, who does a lot of the background music that I use in all my videos. So just a wonderful experience playing WWE 2K23. I can't wait for the game to come out on March 17th because I am going to play a ton of it, and I'm going to work with my brother on getting those showcase videos up because that was just such a great experience. This game is going to be a great experience. If you enjoyed 2K22, this is coming back even stronger. That is their tagline with the game, and they are living up to it. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I will have more gameplay videos releasing that are just the straight matches that I played. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm great at the game. I was very rusty. I hadn't played in a while, but I did the best I could to put out some really good content, and I do hope you enjoy it. Thank you again to 2K, to WWE, and to mpfirst.com. Make sure you check them out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see ya.